My name's Patrick. A lot of you probably don't know me, but I wanted to welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to make a few announcements before we get started here, just so you have an idea of what's about to happen. Of course, number one, thank you for being here. It's very cool that we're all together. You know, it's been a long time since we've gotten to do a lot of things like this. Second, I wanted to put some stuff into context about what's going to happen tonight, because it's going to be a little bit different than a regular wedding, as I'm sure you can already tell. I produce a comedy show in New York City. It's called the George Lucas Talk Show. It's a very normal talk show that happens to be hosted by retired filmmaker George Lucas. And he interviews guests just as themselves. We've had a lot of crazy people on. Seth Meyers was on, and Weird Al, and Kevin Smith, you know, New Jersey's own Kevin Smith. Dan and Adrienne have been coming for years. They've been coming to the show. At one point, they helped us film our show at Comic-Con. Like, they've been very invested in the show, and it's always been really nice to have them as a regular presence there. When they got married, when they were planning on getting married, they asked George if he would officiate the wedding today. George says, well, can my producer Patrick come and sort of explain what the heck's about to happen? And they said, sure. So now, I mean, we're basically caught up. Like, you basically understand what's going to happen tonight, which is good. In a few minutes, when the wedding begins, George will be standing right here, right where I'm standing. And he may not look the way he normally looks, the way you've seen him look before. But, you know, COVID's been rough on a lot of us, so it's been a tough couple of years. When he walks out, don't shout out, hey, there's retired filmmaker George Lucas. Don't ask him any questions about Star Wars. It's a normal wedding, so just be cool, be chill. It'll be fun. It'll be weird. It's going to be good. Does anyone have any questions about what's about to happen? No? I see a half hand raised. Is that a question, or is that just... No? Okay, great. Okay, are we ready to get started? All right, let's do it.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Please rise. Please be seated. It is a period of civil war. That's how I started the opening crawl for Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Now, that story took place, famously, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But it could be argued that those words are as true in the here and now as ever. America is a divided country. But just as rebellions are built on hope, so too are weddings. Now, Star Wars isn't always the best place to look for weddings. There's a really good one at the end of Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Anakin and Padme are married. It's a lovely, simple ceremony. R2 and 3PO are there. But they were unable to invite all of their friends and loved ones because Jedis are not allowed to be married, so they had to keep it a secret. And it should be noted that that marriage ended about as badly as any marriage possibly could in a screaming argument on a volcano planet. Now, I don't want to go into all the details of it. You can find it on Disney+. But just trust me, the marriage that we are here to witness beginning today is going to be much, much better. I guarantee it. Woo. On a joyful occasion such as this, it is perhaps more appropriate to invoke a more romantic movie, such as the computer-animated CGI jukebox musical Strange Magic. Now, if you haven't heard of it, it's the last feature film that I produced. It's a lot of fun, especially for girls. And Disney didn't really promote it, but you can also find it on their streaming service every now and then. So check it out. Again, the reason I'm mentioning this is not to promote my own work, but because the message of that movie is very important and relevant. And it is that everyone deserves to be loved. It's kind of a fairy tale movie. But fairy tales, while fantastical, are more importantly mechanisms for delivering greater truths. Adrienne and Dan are not animated characters. They're not fairies who live in the woods, or droids, or Jedis. They're real people who waited their whole young lives to finally meet. Now, this contract is not to be entered into lightly, but thoughtfully and seriously, and with a deep realization of its obligations and responsibilities. Now, when I was negotiating with 20th Century Fox for the very first Star Wars film, they let me keep the merchandising rights. They weren't taking it seriously. And that was a big mistake. I know that today is not like that. You are better than 20th Century Fox. You've both put a lot of thought into this, and it's my understanding that you have written vows that you will now read to each other.
Dan, you only do things at top speed. Full blast, deluxe. We met on Tinder and you had to meet me immediately. On our first date to see Rogue One as a couple, you brought 10 of your closest friends and family, and you integrated me into your family in less than a month. And by then I already knew I loved you. I never fear that you won't see a situation the same way I do. We're always on the same page because we're a team. If I need help to make dinner or to pick my brother up from the airport, you're there for me no matter what. And I would do anything that you needed me to support you as well, when you let me. I know that relationships take work, but what we have has been so easy and makes so much sense, and it still surprises me. There are so many reasons why I love you. I have never been with someone who so thoroughly got me and wanted to be with me all of the time. I promise to never take you for granted, to surprise you when I can, and to love you always.
All right. She wrote a lot. Can I borrow yours? No. I promise to make you laugh, even when you're not in the mood to laugh. And I always know when you're not in the mood to laugh, and I try to stay away. But I'm always there to hug you and love you during and after. You're the funniest person I know, and when you laugh, I love you even more. I promise to listen to you without judgment, and to be there when you need me. And I try to be there for you whenever I can. Even try to think about it before you need me, and sometimes I'm wrong, and I'm sorry about that. I'm not the best at remembering things, but I always put you first. I promise to support both your dreams and our dreams, because we've already proven that we can do anything together. And every time we come up with a new thing that we want to do, a new path that we want to follow, we always do it together. And I couldn't think of anyone else I would want to do that with. And finally, I promise to love you and cherish you forever. I can't imagine a life without you, and I wouldn't want to. Every day you make me the happiest man on earth, and I can't wait to see what's next for us.
You both did great. Those were good. All right, I want to try something now. This is not something I prepared either of you for, but it'd be very easy. I want just a little back and forth where I want you to be Leia and you to be Han. All right, so I think you know how this works. Sure. And then we're going to switch up. We're going to do it both ways, all right? I don't even need to tell you what you need to say, right? No. Okay.
Wait, am I Han?
No, you're Leia, so you yeah. Yeah.
Scruffy looking nerf?
No, not that part. No. You get it, all right? Yeah, all right.
Now I know.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I love you.
I know.
All right, now you be Leia and you be Han, okay?
Okay, yeah.
I love you.
I know.
All right, and then we won't do the part where we and then you sink down and freeze in the carbonite.
Next time.
All right, very cool. I like. And now we'll do the same thing in a more traditional way. Dan, do you take Adrienne to be your wife? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect her, forsaking all others and holding only unto her forevermore?
I do.
And Adrienne, do you take Dan to be your husband? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect him, forsaking all others and holding only unto him forevermore?
I do.
All right, now let's take the rings out. You're going to present each other with rings, and I just want to ask you to tell me a little bit about these rings, because I think they have interesting stories behind them. And also, in a wedding, if this were a film, we could do a tight close-up on the rings and everyone can see them. It's a part of the wedding ceremony that I think we should, because let me take a look. Yeah, see, no one else has as good a view as I do. So let's share a little bit about what these rings are like and how you got them.
So I selected my ring, and it's silver, and it's inlaid with opal, because I like opal because it's not as flashy as diamonds or other gemstones, because you really have to look close to find the specialness of it, and it's always changing.
So my ring is titanium because I really like strong metal. And I'm always worried I'm going to get my hand pressed in something. But it's inlaid with meteorite because I am a super space geek. And I figured if I'm going to put anything on my finger, it should be something that represents something that I love in my life. I love you too, but I figured I'd, get the ring too, Yeah, so both. So, yeah, same. Yeah.
All right, so Dan, please place the ring on Adrienne's left hand and repeat after me. With this ring, wed thee I do.
With this ring, wed thee I do.
Great job. Right on the finger. All right. Adrienne, please place the ring on Dan's left hand and repeat after me. With this ring, wed thee I do.
With this ring, wed thee I do.
All right. And now, by the power of me, retired filmmaker George Lucas, it is my honor and delight to declare you married. Go forth and live each day to the fullest. You may seal this declaration with a kiss. I am so pleased to present the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Borghoff, and may the force be with you, always.